It's Monday, November 3rd, 2025. We've got a lot of weather to talk about. We've got a big atmospheric river, Pineapple Express system coming into the Pacific Northwest. We've got some storms coming. We've got a major pattern flip and cold blast on the way. So let's dive right into it. Starting off with this storm system up in the Pacific Northwest. It's going to start off today with some heavy rain showers and some heavy snow in the higher elevations in Washington. But things are really going to start kicking up as we go into tomorrow and especially Wednesday into Thursday, as once again a Pineapple Express system is going to be hitting California, Oregon, and Washington up into western portions of Canada. We call this a Pineapple Express because it really is a tropical moisture fire hose from about Hawaii up to the mainland US. Okay, so we're getting all this tropical moisture from Hawaii dumping onto areas around Eureka up to Coos Bay. It is going to drop a significant amount of rain. We're talking about 4 inches of rain in less than 12 hours. That's like a month's worth of rain in half a day in some of these areas, and it's going to lead to 70-mile-per-hour winds as it hits too. And once again, the biggest part of it is going to be starting late Monday, and then all day Wednesday and Thursday, it's just going to be a deluge over here in the Pacific Northwest. And here's the crazy thing about this as well. We're expecting some storm surge, right? A couple feet of storm surge, and also some crashing waves up to 26 feet. And one of the reasons why we're so concerned about this is because this is happening at the same time as the king tides. All right, so every year we get the king tides, and that is when the ocean is at its natural highest level because of the moon's gravitational pull. So that's happening at the same time as this, and that's going to cause even more problems with coastal flooding and stuff like that. So you've got all these waves and storm surge and the high ocean trying to get onto land, and then at the same time you've got 4 inches of rain coming out of these mountains trying to go out into the ocean where those two water masses meet. It's going to lead to a mess, I think. So make sure you're ready up there in the Pacific Northwest. Avoid the coast entirely, especially between Tuesday and Friday, because that's going to be a mess. Some places will see more than 4 inches of rain. I wouldn't be surprised north of Coos Bay up there into the western portion of Washington for some areas to see over 7 inches of rain. So don't be scared, be prepared, do what you got to do to be prepared for flash flooding, mudslides, and all that. But I think the biggest problem for most people with this is going to be the wind. Sustained winds around 70 to 75 miles per hour is going to cause problems with power outage. It's going to cause problems with power outages and down trees and all that kind of stuff. So get ready up here in Washington, Oregon, and California. Now let's talk about this major pattern flip that this is going to lead to. So while the Pacific Northwest is getting battered over here, the rest of us honestly are going to be dealing with some pretty seasonable weather. We're going to have actually a lot of warmth building up in the plains. It's going to be a little bit cooler than average over here in the Northeast. But I want to go a little bit farther into the future here and kind of tease something that you probably heard about now. A lot of people in the weather community are talking about this. A major cold outbreak for the central and southeastern United States. This will be our first real taste of winter for the vast majority of us coming up around November 10th, somewhere in there. We're going to have a big cold front come through, and we could have temperatures 20, maybe even 25 degrees below average in Missouri, all the way down into Texas, all the way back up into the upper Midwest, over towards the Ohio Valley, Appalachian Mountains, Northeast, all that good stuff. We could even be talking about some significant cold in the Southeast. Look at this. We are well below average in Florida and Georgia, South Carolina on the 11th. So very interesting cold front coming. It's too early to talk about specifics, but get ready. These are going to be some of the coldest temperatures we've had in a while, and it looks like it'll be trying to stick around at least for a little while as another big ridge forms in the west. So we've got a major unstable pattern starting to set up here, and you can kind of see where we're going. And we're about to dive so much deeper into that, but first, let's shout out today's awesome sponsor. WEATHERWISE, the best weather radar app. This is a free-to-download, state-of-the-art, ad-free radar app available on iOS and Android, or you can literally open it up in a web browser. And now there's even more to this revolutionary weather viewing tool. A few months ago, I told you about WeatherWise Plus, where you could pay a small fee and unlock all kinds of cool features like Y'all Mode, which makes your weather radar look like mine, the one that I use on the live streams, or the 3D globe projection, radar smoothing, and the enhanced lightning visualizations, and much more. Well, now there's a step even above that. Introducing WeatherWise Pro, the standard for visual weather data interaction in 2025. With WeatherWise Pro, you're going to get professional level radar tools like real-time 3D cross-section views so you can see inside the storm, triple view on mobile and quad view on tablets and desktop, Reflectivity X, which gives you 2 times the amount of radar scans for the same time period, and Max Reflectivity, which shows you the composite max reflectivity across 5 to 30 scans. No other radar app out there is doing this stuff. My favorite new Pro feature is the Flash Reflectivity tool, which allows you to set a reflectivity range you want to flash so you can immediately highlight areas of concern completely custom to your preferences. And of course, the new Weather Alerts Impact Reports, which allow you to see the population, the amount of homes, scheduled events, and sensitive infrastructure inside warning polygons at a glance. And of course, Fast Scan, which gives you ultra low latency radar scans and this very awesome, fully customizable radar sweep animation. Now, once again, one of the big things about WeatherWise and the reason why I like working with them so much is because it's free. If you want all of the same data that the National Weather Service uses to issue severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff like that, you don't have to pay a dime. But if you want these professional level monitoring tools, there's no better option out there. Upgrade to WeatherWise Pro today. There's a way to do it inside of your app, and if you don't have the app yet, scan this QR code or go to weatherwise.app in your browser. And once again, it's free, but I definitely recommend the Plus and the Pro versions. Super huge shout out to WeatherWise. Couldn't ask for a better weather app to be working with. Now let's get back into the video. These big temperature swings will come along with storm systems. So we're going to talk about rain and severe weather, but also snow. We have some legit chances of snow over the next week or so, especially in the Northeast, but even in the upper Midwest, even in my neck of the woods. Look at this. Over the next 200 hours, it's possible that we get an inch of snow in some of the higher elevations of the Appalachian Mountains. Some of the really higher elevations could see up to 3 inches of snow. It's not much, but hey, it's something to talk about here. We've got snow on the way. There's actually one system, the system that's going to bring the big cold blast, that could drop a significant amount of snow, maybe from around central portions of Des Moines, maybe from around central portions of Iowa over through Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and especially up here in New England. I think that it's a shoe-in for a couple of significant snowstorms in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont over the next couple of days, especially over the next 10 to 14 days or so. So let's actually track these systems and see what they look like on a weather map that is a little bit easier to understand. The first one that might bring some snow up into New England will be this really fast-moving clipper that's going to try to drop some rain and some snow in Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York. That'll be out of our hair by Thursday. And then, in my opinion, that's when things get interesting. That's when the energy from our Pineapple Express is going to cross over the Rockies and bring about maybe some storms down here in my neck of the woods. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up seeing some SPC action with this. It's not out of the question for this to be severe. It's too early to talk about specifics. The severe storms could be down here in the Arklatex region. They could be in the deep south, or they could actually be in the Ohio Valley here. We'll watch that closely. But regardless, we're going to have a pretty powerful cold front come through and some rain moving through the eastern part of the United States around November 8th. And then this is the big cold front. Okay, you can see all of these blue lines here representing the very cold air escaping down from Canada and meeting up with some moisture around this low pressure system and bringing some heavy snow to Chicago potentially on the 9th. And watch that move up over into upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. This turns into a classic nor'easter with some interior snow that is significant, to say the least, potentially out there on November 10th. So that could change, but that is what we're talking about. And the one thing that won't change is the cold, all right? I do think we're going to get a big cold snap here as a result of the cold front. Where exactly the snow falls, that's still up in the air. But I want you to just notice the amplitude here. Major trough in the east, major ridge in the west. This unsettled pattern is going to start a significant sequence, I think, of storms. If we go farther into the future on the GFS, you can see the ridge tries to propagate east, but it's followed by a very significant trough, a very strong storm system that might lead to a blizzard up here in the northern United States, south central portions of Canada, and a very real severe weather outbreak as well. So it's this kind of storm system that we'll be dealing with, I think, from the middle of November through the middle of December, which will make things very busy in the weather world. If you average everything out, though, we're pretty much going to be near normal. We're going to have some very cold blasts, some very warm surges, but if you average everything out over the month of November, I think we're going to be mostly around normal temperatures for the East Coast. We'll be a little bit above average out here in the West. So don't look too much into that. that. This is an average. It's not going to feel normal most of the time, if you know what I'm saying. And then also, as far as precipitation goes, I think we will get a normal amount of precipitation for the vast majority of the U.S., a little bit above average in the Northeast and the Northwest, and then a little bit below average in the South Central United States, especially down there around New Mexico. So it's an exciting time, okay? We don't have any specific storm systems to track really other than the ones that I just talked about. Severe weather is going to be on the up and up again, I think, in a couple of weeks. The tropics, I think we're done with the tropics. Now it's time to think about severe weather and snow. So once again, buckle up. It's going to get plumb wild. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Slap a like on this video if you liked it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.